Hi, I'm Lauracrapo, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna do a reading on what birds think of us here on Earth. Let's get comfortable. I feel like an exclamation mark, like I guess that's like WTF from them. I feel like they have like certain areas where they feel safe, but there's a lot, obviously, like places they don't feel safe. So it's like limiting a lot, like kind of the good they can do in the world, whether it's like helping with like pollinating or like just the general health. Like they play a part if they were able to like live as they want to, their contribution to the overall health of the world would be better. I think they like put up with like human bird friendship, but it's like not ideal. Like it's like because a lot of them are captive and they're like okay, like okay, owner, whatever. Like making the most of a bad situation, I guess. It feels like their ability to like live properly is like in a very narrow scope, which is like not ideal. Like if you think of planes as like, yeah, you build them, they get used up and they rust and then they're litter, kind of in the, if you think like in terms of 1,000 years, like, is it really worth it? You know, no. I feel like it wouldn't take much to disrupt like all the, you know, the general movement that's going on in the world. Like, I mean, if you think about the internet, it's like literally wires on the ocean floor. Like, it's like as much as people talk about satellites, the internet is literally in these like thick cords at the bottom of the ocean. So, uh, you know, there's a certain fragility that technology like depends on. I feel like after like 200 years, this sort of like bubble of like this sort of technology boom will have subsided because it's like everyone's gonna be like, nature is so much better. Like what, you know? Um, so if you're like trying to be ahead of the curve, like learn about your herbs and like your, you know, foraging and living in unity with the earth, like you'll be so ahead of the curve and like it'll be so hot in 200 years, like whatever you start now in terms of that. Because like you know, you think of nature as its own perfect technology that's already been sorted, like why mess with that? Like anyway, okay, so what else? Birds. What do birds think? I feel like they have to like creep around us, like we're like scary. Like it gives birds stress. And guns and stuff. Yeah, like when you're shooting at birds and stuff, like they're obviously not into that. Like ducks and geese and whatever. I feel like they would rather people shoot for like stuff that's like closer by rather than like using high powered stuff to like disrupt migration. So like, 'cause it stresses out all the other birds in that migration like flight pattern. Like, just like don't do that. Not okay. And what else? Like make it a fair fight. Like in terms of something that's like old fashioned, like one of those slingshots or arrows, but not like high powered rifles with scopes. Like you're cheating, basically. Like it's not fair. Imagine if birds had those on us. Like we wouldn't like it. Right? It's not a fair fight. Okay, what else? Also, like obviously depleting forests. Like I've just like crying. I get a lot of like sadness about loss of habitat. It sucks. It's like a married couple, and like one partner like takes the other partner for granted and treats them like crap, and like takes all their money and like abuses them, but that's how nature feels with us, like an abusive partner. So it's like moving forward, because like what's done is done, right? Like moving forward, try to live in harmony with nature more, or like make your buildings be like so that you don't need as much electricity or space, or like like those like those hobbit houses where like naturally cozy. I don't know. That kind of stuff. Like, why hate on harmony, right? Okay. What else? What do birds have to say? You know how like people like chase birds and stuff? Like, stop doing that. Like, I feel like if like a bird like who was on the ocean stops on a pier, they don't need some kid like running up to it and chasing it. Like they're tired. They're legit tired and want to rest. Like I don't know how you teach that. It's on you if you're a parent to teach your kids not to chase after birds and stuff like that. I know, like I did notice that like seagulls in California are really like proactive about taking your food, whereas like in Canada you don't see that really at all. They just leave you alone. So like I was running for my life, holding chips or a slice of pizza on the beach in California. So like I can understand like running away from a seagull in California, but like don't chase after them. Don't like scare them. So, all right, birds. I think too, like it would be cool if people didn't have zoos anymore and like very mindfully returned the wildlife to their respective wild. There's enough like nature videos in like 4K or 8K now that like we don't need zoos. Like the mystery is solved. And like, you know, back when I was a kid, we just had like drawings, films on real film that you got from the library and stuff. But like now there's like no excuse. You have the nature channel or whatever. Like you don't need zoos anymore. Okay. Or circuses for that matter. Okay. So like birds would prefer it if you didn't domesticate, like didn't have them in your home, like leave them be in the wild. Okay, I wonder what advice do birds have so that we don't feel the need to like bother them so much. I think they want to say like, you know, like swim more, enjoy nature, but like peacefully more. And if like, you know, a lot of people live in cities and stuff and they're disconnected from nature and they don't like get that like good communication going. Like definitely make a plan to get some swimming lessons and safely enjoy nature where you don't feel like you have to take a piece of it home with you, like, or captive, take a bird captive, or like, or be destructive. Okay, what else? One more thing, birds. I feel like if we don't play by the rules, like the earth will have its own ways of like balancing stuff out. So maybe do your best to like, you know, learn to be in nature peacefully, bit by bit, like educate yourself on like, I'm not gonna say survival, but like, you know, like like yeah, peacefully coexisting with nature and like understanding the value. And like one way would be like herbs, like herbal remedies work so much better than pharmacy stuff if it's like part, especially part of your regular life. And recognizing plants, like recognizing mushrooms, like, you know, recognizing different kinds of seaweed, like whatever is in your area, like just learn about it. Learn about what are my local plants, what is edible, like what is this useful for, like, you know, in your downtime. Or make a YouTube channel on that, and then it'll help your community. Yeah, because I feel like this sort of like technological fiesta we're having right now isn't forever. So it'd be best to like learn about nature's technology, like, you know, because like if your cell phone doesn't work and your fridge doesn't work and etc., like not in a fearful way, but just like, you know, I'm talking like it's this 200-year span I'm talking about, but like, you know, be smart, like know where you live and like what it know what it looked like before the city was built there, like 100, 200 years ago, whatever. What grasses were like, just learn about it. Like it's part of your surroundings and it may prove useful. Because the birds aren't having it. Okay, just one more thing. And like whatever is on the same channel or wavelength as like bird communication, like try not to pollute that frequency with too much like other frequencies and stuff. Just like let nature communicate with itself. at the very least. So that's my reading on birds, and I hope you enjoyed it.